I truly believe in the law of detachment. I truly believe in you not becoming scarcity minded, narrow, one track minded. I truly believe in having options. I truly believe in not strangling something, loosening it up. Yes, you can think about it. Yes, you can strive for something, but I don't think you should be desperate for that something or that one thing, okay? Because the desperation, well, will lead you to become bitter or negative if that one thing doesn't go in your favor. Okay. You should not become outcome dependent, especially if that outcome is not within your grasp, is not within your control, especially when it's to do with other people making the yes or no, making the grand decision, or if it's to do with nature, for example. I truly believe you should really think about not just like the future, but mainly about the present and what you can do, what is within your control, and having options. It's like you having a crush. Okay, you have one crush and then you really want that crush to like you, but the more that you're desperate for that crush to like you, the more that you're more dependent on the outcome of that crush hopefully saying yes or whatever, the more likely it is for you to come off clingy, desperate, and the crush is just gonna walk away, run away, metaphorically, of course, like, I don't know about this one. He's chasing me a little bit too hard. Instead of coming from a place of abundance, you come from a place of scarcity. And like, it's even when it comes to jobs as well, in the job market, you're applying for one job and you want that one job. You really want to get into that one job. But it's like, maybe you should apply for multiple other jobs and hopefully get into one at least. Yes, you have a goal in mind, but at the same time, you can't come from a place of scarcity, because that can ruin your chances. That can ruin, yeah, it can ruin your chances. I don't know how to explain it in the most way that makes sense, because it's very like, it sounds a bit wishy-washy. I understand, but I do truly believe in this. But anyways, it reminds me of this one time when I almost got scouted to be on Love Island. Yes, ITV randomly messaged me on Instagram, looked at the message, I thought it was a scam. I'm like, I don't know. This was a few years ago, by the way. And then yeah, long story short, turns out they were casting for the next Love Island season. I've never seen Love Island. I've always heard about it, especially in the UK. Very popular, okay? But I'm like, is this something that I really want to get into? It seems very degenerate and very like, not really my lane. I'm not really into this whole thing. I've seen Too Hot to Handle, so I kind of had some sort of like expectation as to what I could be getting myself into. But then I'm like, I don't know. Let's just go with the flow. Like, what am I going to lose? I don't have to pay anything up front. I just go and see what happens, I guess. But I was never really interested. Pay this in mind. I was never really interested, especially from the beginning. So yeah, they wanted to cast me. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So I had to sign a lot of documents, and then I had to have a lot of meetings, Zoom meetings. And then before you know it, one or two Zoom meetings later, they wanted to see me in person. And I'm like, are we serious? They were going to pay for my travel for me to see them at their headquarters in London. And I'm like, wait, is this actually happening? I'm like, wait, how did I even get this far? I'm just speaking my mind. I really just didn't think too much of it. And then now I'm here meeting with the producers of the show. I'm like the people behind the scenes. And I'm like, are we serious? I get there, I meet them. And then I'm like, at that point, maybe because I started telling other people, and then those other people were like, oh my gosh, your life can change. Maybe then I'm like, oh, maybe then I started taking it a little seriously. But till that point, I was not taking it seriously. I'm like, they're never gonna choose me anyways. But I've made it this far somehow. Whatever. Got to the studios, got to the headquarters in London, ITV. They greeted me, whatnot. And then they were like asking me questions about my dating life history. I don't know if they were trick questions or not, but they were really asking me some interesting questions to do with the island and what I would do there. And am I the type of person who would get what I want whenever I want? And like one of my answers was like, you could be the juiciest peach in the world, but not everyone likes peaches. And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that was so cold. But yeah, honestly, crazy questions. And then there's like a big camera right on my face as well, like a proper big TV camera on my face during the interview questions thing. And I truly thought to myself, like, bro, the amount of people that has made it this far is probably pretty low, right? They've paid for my travel and everything, and I'm meeting with the people themselves. And I'm like, if I pass this, I presume to be the last phase, then I'm on the show. I'm on Love Island. I'm on Love Island. New season. What? And I think after a while, it kind of just got to me as well. And then the big camera, and then the questions, and then the producers, and then this and that, and the hype just built up. And I'm like, oh my gosh. All of a sudden, I was being myself, but not really. At that point, like at the last phase, I was kind of like, maybe I should actually try. Maybe I should actually try. Maybe I might actually get this, because if I do get this, this is literally going to change my life. But to think that I'd even be picked for this is crazy. Out of the millions of other people in the UK, around the nation, they picked me at that time. At that time, I had braces. At that time, I didn't have my diet on point. At that time, I was trying, but I was just not, and I looked so young. I looked like I was 12 years old. So again, like, regardless, I was really at the last phase. That's when I really like started to just, I don't know, change up a bit within my approach. And I think that's why they didn't pick me, because after that phase, after a month, they called me and they were like, yeah, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I even forgot, to be honest. I even forgot that I did the whole thing. And then they called me and I'm like, oh. And they said no. I said, okay, cool, whatever. I really, till the end, I really didn't care that much. But at the final phase, I kind of did slightly care. I can't lie. Not too much. Like, oh my, I need to get, no. But like, there was a slight bit of care towards me actually wanting to get into this. And maybe that's what messed it up in the end. They liked the fact that I just didn't care. But at the end, they sussed, or they got a hint of me actually taking this a bit serious, or me taking this like, I don't know what it is. I can't really explain it. But to think that because I was so detached is why I got that far, because that's what they said. They said, oh, I'm just being myself. And I'm like, the more detached I am, the more myself I am, and the more like chill that I am, right? And they liked that. They literally said it, because I asked them, like, how was it that I was able to come this far? And they said that. And I'm like, it really is interesting how this all plays out, the law of detachment. It really is a real thing. You can equate this to the story I just gave, but also to your own life and everything else, your friend's life too. Maybe you can think back to a time when you really just didn't care about something, and then you just got it. And it's like, and then there was another time when you tried and you just didn't get it. You know what I mean? So strange. But since that day, I always thought to myself, you know what? If I can get something like that, if I was chosen out of millions for something like that, who knows if I can get something similar or even better than that. It really gave me a confidence boost. I can't lie to you, because I did have an imposter syndrome, especially near the end. And even at the beginning as well, like, why they pick me. But still, it's like, okay, if I can get something like that, who's to say that I can't get anything else like that? And to be honest, I can't lie to you. I think a year later, I did try to go for Love Island again. Like, I deliberately, this time, instead of them reaching out to me, I reached out to them. So you can tell, like, the reverse, right? All of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, I can try. Maybe this time I look better. I felt better. I've been going at the gym, whatever. This time, surely, right? Surely. And then no, I didn't get it. But yeah, I'd even make it to the final stage like I did the year prior. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm trying too hard at this point. I probably was. But yeah, the law of detachment. Don't become outcome dependent. The more that you are, the more likely it is for emotions to get involved. The more likely it is for you to make mistakes. The more likely it is for you to overthink. And the more likely it is for you to just ignore, or not just ignore, but also just be blinded by, are they the same things? Being ignoring and being blinded? I don't know. But the more likely it is for you to miss other opportunities that are literally coming at you, or literally around your peripheral vision. But because you're only focused on that one thing in front of you, you're missing all the other good stuff around. Take note of all the good stuff as, of course, you look ahead, but be aware that there could be other things as well that you could shift your mind to that could even be better than that one thing, you know? Always have options. It's always good to have options, especially in dating, by the way. This is Mike Zilli. Goodbye.